TikTok compilation that might wake you up and change your reality. Let's go!
Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, as these clips haven't been fact-checked.
Hey, how you doing today?
Good.
What's your name and where you from?
William Defoe. I'm from Wisconsin.
Ooh, Wisconsin is in the house now.
I'm from.
Okay. Shout out to Rome. Oh, we see your fit. Describe it.
What I'm wearing?
Yeah.
Prada shoes.
Prada.
Prada coat.
Bam.
T-shirt.
Okay.
A green Woolwich sweater.
Bam. Let me give anybody.
And
my phone.
I can tell you.
Okay.
And then some.
What is that?
I don't know.
Let me give. Hold on. Let me give. Okay, you can give anybody a snap tip.
I won't do that. I will never give anybody a stop.
The general population.
Great. Have you ever had a really bad day? Good man. By the laws of Gotham City, he is hereby declared sane.
You're a funny man.
And that's how I'm not smiling.
You still got it. Just living the dream. I love that.
So why not?
I'm actually smiling.
I like William Dafoe, one of the greatest. He's not homeless, he dressed like normal person. Keanu Reeves does the same. Wow. Everything is being put before our eyes, folks. The coming of Christ is imminent and very close. I've seen rainbow clouds twice in my life. It's definitely a very beautiful phenomenon.
How is it that now people are coming to the realization that the inverted version of you is what people see on the daily? How do you not realize that looking in a mirror all your life, it's a reflection, but it's not what other people see? I mean, that was kind of common knowledge, I thought, but I had one of those mirrors. It was a mirror and then like a side mirror, and so I was able to pull it out and know that that was like a reflection of the reflection, which is the actual way people were looking at me. Like I knew that in high school, but how are people just realizing that now? It's just kind of astonishing that this app is like, people like, oh my god, I look like this. Yeah, it's the reverse image, and we're not completely symmetrical.
No matter what you use, you will never see what you actually look like to others.
New footage from a hotel security camera has been leaked by CNN that shows Puff Daddy back in 2016 beating Cassie. Now I have to say, trigger warning for anyone who's about to watch my video or who goes to search out this CCTV on CNN and watch it, because it is horrific to watch. The way he rags her around and kicks her so hard and then just kind of tears her away from the cameras to drag her back to the hotel room and throws vases from the hotel at her. He is literally so much bigger than her, overpowers her so easily. It is absolutely heartbreaking to watch. This shows what an animal Puff Daddy is. And I'm glad it's come out, because until now we're kind of like, you know, where's the evidence? Like, what's going on? I hope they fry his ass. I really do. Nobody in the industry deserves a downfall more than this man. There will be so much that comes out about Puff Daddy in the end that he will make R. Kelly look like Mary Poppins. And I don't say that to take away from any of the abuse that R. Kelly has committed. It's absolutely horrific, and he is where he needs to be. But this man has got away with so much for so long. And I hope to God they put him behind bars for the rest of his natural life.
If that's what he was doing in public view, I dread to imagine what went on behind closed doors.
You guys remember when Usher said this?
And I'm very honored to be able to receive this amazing award from the depths of my soul.
Of the depth of
Could have been a slip of the tongue. We don't know. We weren't there, right? But I find his answer to the Met Gala a little bit more interesting in light of this.
How did you interpret the theme tonight?
Just that. Wanted to be exotic. There's all different types of gardens. Some of them get a little dark. But you gotta have fun, right?
You all can keep that darkness on your side. As for me and my house, we are going to serve the Lord and only the Lord.
Yes.
And anyone that comes out and says that this is just pulling at straws and digging in things deeper, you are willfully blind and there's no getting to you. So I won't try anymore. To my brothers and sisters out there, they are very blatant and very direct. They do not care that you know. Ramp up your prayers, stay strong. Yahushua's time is near. God bless you.
Usher is dancing with the devil. His eyes tell you all you need to know.
I'm not gonna lie to you. You could have given me 3 legal days to try to guess
That's
what
so
noise this
funny.
caterpillar made. I wouldn't have guessed that one. Come here. This is called the swallowtail caterpillar. This is based off of the actual Pokemon Caterpie. Yes, they are real, and there are 600 different versions of these types of caterpillars, and I don't want to meet one of them. They are located in every single continent except for Antarctica, meaning I will be moving soon. Does that make sense? Because apparently they'll just wander in the house. And they encourage you to put them somewhere where it's sunny. I'm not gonna lie to you. If one of these guys enters into my house and makes that noise, they can keep my house. I will be moving.
I thought it was the person filming gasping at the caterpillar. And why is it so big? I thought it was a weird looking snake.
It doesn't even like come up as dark as it is. Oh, there we go. That's
Whoa.
scary. That's
That is.
scary.
Ooh. Yes, the way the sky went from light to plain darkness was insane. But the worst part was the people still didn't have their headlights on.
Hello, everybody. You know how they're talking about the Pope is issuing new guidelines on dealing with seeing spirits and apparitions and angels and, in fact, right up to Jesus? Well, I just saw a video on YouTube. I'll put the name of it in the description, and it's about the secrets of the Vatican. And did you know that there apparently is an actual, for real angel rumored to be captured somewhere in the Vatican? What if it got loose? And now it's going to get its buddies. And that's why they got to put the flyer on how to deal with it. I don't know, guys. It's weird. This whole Vatican thing, they need to be exposed just like the Smithsonian. Like, I want to know what's in there. I want to know. I want to know. That's my thing, my burning thing. What's all the stuff there? But can you imagine if they had a for real giganto angel and it escaped? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments.
What if it's not an angel? Is a former angel, the fallen angel, aka the Nephilim.
My God.
Yay! Aww.
You thought
The buffalo looked so proud of himself when everyone cheered.
follow information about humankind, you find out that in all parts of history, people were coming to this region for their information and their knowledge and their things that were forbidden, and these were not these were the highest of human civilization. Even Tesla says that this is where he came to get the information, but if you follow that information pathway, it leads you to this character called Thoth, right? And the emerald tablets of Thoth are literally mind-changing and mind-blowing, just because you understand when this was written, and the terminology being used is far too accurate for now. So
I'm a huge Cat Williams and Terrence Howard, amazing people, highly intellectual. But I wonder who Jesus Christ is to them.
Fan of saunas because the studies, mostly from Northern Europe, people who take the most saunas have the lowest incidence of Alzheimer's disease. And I told you about my mercury. Detoxing is really important. And you can detox in a lot of different ways, but sauna is one of the most effective ways. Exercise is, you want to stay young, walk like you're late. If you're 80 and you can walk 3 miles an hour, you have a 90% chance of living till you're 90. If you can only walk a mile an hour, you have a 90% chance you're not going to live until you're 90. So exercise boosts blood flow. It increases brain-derived neurotrophic factor. It increases serotonin, increases dopamine. Another interesting thing is, should you do cold plunges? Because cold plunges have been found to fairly dramatically increase dopamine.
So hard to find a sauna these days along with swimming pools, especially here in Indonesia. China is returning to its rightful place on the world stage as the most innovative and industrious country on earth. Wow. I've never heard a dog sound so scared. My cat would trade me for half a nugget.
This guy has one dream in his life. He basically wants to create the next Star Wars. Now his name is Lin, and Lin is actually a billionaire. He got rich creating online and mobile games in China, with his company's biggest game being the Game of Thrones game Winter is Coming. But one day, Lin decides he wants his gaming company to expand into making movies. So he goes out and he buys the rights to this sci-fi novel that's selling really well, called Three Body Problem. There's like a whole trilogy of them, they call it the Three Body series. But Lin and his company, he buys the rights, and he has a big vision for these novels. He wants to turn them into a massive global IP, and basically make them like the next Star Wars, with blockbuster movies and spin-off TV shows and spin-off video games. So he starts a new subsidiary company to handle this Three Body Problem material. And to run that company, he appoints this guy, Zhu. Zhu's a lawyer, and he's kind of an eccentric dude. So, for the next 3 years, Lin and his company, they try to adopt these books into a series of 6 movies. And he takes meeting after meeting after meeting. But, unfortunately, Hollywood just isn't quite feeling his idea. And old Zhu isn't doing a very good job running his subsidiary company for him. He's allegedly blowing through a lot of the company's money with very little to show for it. So Lin's Three Body Problem movies fail to get the green light in Hollywood. And this just crushes his dream of making the next Star Wars type global franchise. And Lin just isn't happy, and it looks like this thing is never gonna take off. Until... So Lin actually has a working relationship with these two showrunners, the guys responsible for ruining Game of Thrones, the TV series. Because remember, Lin's company produced the Game of Thrones online video game, so they have a connection. So Lin asked the two showrunners, Benioff and Weiss, he asked them to come on board the Three Body Problem, and they do. And eventually they all get a deal with Netflix to turn the Three Body Problem into, not into a bunch of movies, but into a long-form drama series, which for Lin, a Netflix series is a great place to start in his dream to turn this IP into the next big Star Wars type global franchise. So they take the deal, and finally, things are starting to go right for Lin. And so he goes to Zhu, who's doing a terrible job, and he demotes him from head of that subsidiary company, and he cuts his pay significantly, because, you know, f*** him. So Lin bumps him down and ends up replacing him with another executive. And Zhu still works there, he's just not at the top anymore. And because of this, Zhu is pissed. And that's when he starts plotting his revenge. Now, as I said before, Zhu is an eccentric guy, but he does have good taste in TV, because one of his favorite shows is Breaking Bad. And this show greatly inspires him in coming up with his revenge plot. So in true Walter White style, Zhu, he finds a place slightly outside of the city, and he starts building a secret lab. And he goes out and he gets a bunch of chemistry equipment and literally dozens of cell phones, and he uses these rogue cell phones to access the dark web. And there he buys a bunch of raw toxic materials, because he's trying to mix the perfect poison. So every workday, Zhu shows up to his job, and he handles the menial tasks that he's trusted with just like he's supposed to. But then, after work, he secretly heads out to his lab. And there, he experiments with mixture after mixture, trying to get his formula just right. And he ends up experimenting with over 100 different types of poison. Wow. He even goes and tests these potions out on random pets that he's able to find in the area. But after months of experimenting, Zhu finally has the poison just right. And he starts spiking beverages and bringing them into the office to share with his coworkers. He also poisons some probiotic pills, and he gives them to Lin's secretary, who then gives them to Lin. And so far, Zhu's plan has worked perfectly, because after Lin takes the pills, he suddenly starts to feel sick. And he has no idea what's wrong. He just knows that he feels like shit. So they rush him to the hospital. And at the same time, 4 other employees at the company who drank Zhu's beverages, they also have to go to the hospital. And so the doctors, they look at all this, and they know Lin and his employees have all been poisoned. But they can't figure out by what. And so they run test after test, and they get nowhere trying to figure this out. And soon, the police get involved, and they investigate. And pretty quickly, Zhu becomes the prime suspect. So police question Zhu, and he denies being a part of any of it. But, based on what everyone has said, they're pretty sure it's him. And so they're basically like, just tell us what you poisoned them with so the doctors can save their lives. But Zhu still refuses to talk. He denies everything. And so 10 days go by, and he still hasn't admitted anything. But luckily, the 4 employees, they've started to recover. But not Lin. Lin, unfortunately, doesn't recover. In fact, Lin, he ends up dying right there in the hospital on Christmas Day. And he never got to see his dream of making Three Body Problem into this Star Wars type global franchise come true. And so anyway, police arrest Zhu, and they eventually find his secret lab outside of the city, and they charge him with murder and all kinds of stuff, and they throw him in jail while he waits on his trial. And almost 4 years later, Three Body Problem gets made into a show, and it finally premieres on Netflix, meaning the first step of Lin's dream is coming true. And the day after that premiere, Zhu's trial ends, and he's found guilty of poisoning his boss, and he gets sentenced not to life, but to death. And it's worth noting that in the opening credits of Three Body Problem, they still credit Lin as executive producer.
The Three Body Problem series is nice though. I saw it. Anyways, that's so heartbreaking. I'm glad his dreams are coming true. Rest in peace, Lin.
Saying that the Catholic Church, the Vatican, they know about the existence of non-human intelligence on this planet.
Certainly. We know the Vatican holds secrets. But will they ever reveal whether it knew about a UFO retrieved from Italy in the 1930s? This question stems from claims by David Grush, a U.S. Air Force officer who dropped many bombshell claims after coming out as a UFO whistleblower. Allegedly, a UFO was recovered from Magenta, Italy, a town near Milan, in 1933. According to the story, the mysterious object came into U.S. possession with the help of the Vatican. Under the fascist regime of Benito Mussolini, the Italian government reportedly moved the UFO to a secure airbase. It's alleged that Pope Pius back-channeled this information to the US, which eventually obtained the UFO from Italy. When asked if the Catholic Church knew about the existence of alien life, Grush responded, "Certainly." As pressure grows in the UFO and UAP world, will the Vatican break its silence and shed light on these sensational claims? Do you believe?
People say the rapture is not real. It will be. And Francis will tell the world aliens have abducted millions. The deception continues. So, are you telling me that there is a crocodile the size of a continent in the ocean? What does it supposedly feed on?
Air comes through your mouth, air comes through your nose. Yeah. What is the difference between the air coming through your nose?
Okay. So your nose, if you were to take your fist, you've got a really big fist. So someone with a slightly smaller fist, and to take that fist and imagine just pushing it inside of your head, that's about the volume of your nose and all the sinus cavities. So they even stretch up above your eyes.
Wow. So volume of your fist, that's crazy.
It's about a billiard ball. So a little, it depends on what size fist you have, right? And they call it the nasal concha because it looks exactly like a seashell. If you were to split a seashell in half and look at it, that's what's happening in your nose. And all of this stuff evolved this way for a reason. So that air that comes in through the nose is slowed down, it's filtered, it's humidified, and it's conditioned. So by the time it gets to your lungs can absorb that oxygen so much easier.
It's almost as if some intelligent design is at play. This is something they should teach in school.
Onions for the whole year. You can't beat it. Fight inflation by screwing them out of your sale. I'm not going to the market. I'm going to my shed. Right here. See that? All that garlic, all that onion. And when I'm done canning the 50, 60 jars of sauce, I'm going to go downstairs and get my sauce.
Starbucks lost $11 million from us not spending $5 on coffee. This would definitely send a message.
What I've read in the Bible, no man knows the day or the time when Jesus Christ will return.
Well, you know, if you read the rest of the sentence, you would know that passage isn't even talking about when Jesus comes back.
Right here, of that day and hour, no one knows, not even the angels of heaven, but my Father only. Look at the first word, but. But is a conjunction. It links it to what's before. So look at the preceding verse. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will by no means pass away. But of that day, what day? The day heaven and earth pass away.
This passage is talking about the day that heaven and earth pass away. So if you interpret it to be talking about the day when Jesus comes back, you're over 1,000 years off. You know that the Bible actually says that you can know the day when Jesus comes back?
Look at this. Concerning the times and the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I should write unto you, for you yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so comes as a thief in the night. Oh, does that mean we're not going to know? No, keep reading. For when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction comes upon them, as labor pains upon a pregnant woman, and they shall not escape. But you, brethren, are not in darkness, so that that day should overtake you as a thief.
So Jesus comes back only as a thief in the night to those who are not the brethren, who are not saved. Those who are the brethren know the times and the seasons, and they can see when he's coming back.
It is very clear. We will know the seasons by the prophecies, but no one will know the day or the hour. And we are his children know the season. We are at the last minute.
Oh, I got y'all going right here. You see that person right there? Take a good look at these again. One more time. Look at them close. If you ever done any kind of construction, you know what core drilling is, and you know how much it sucks. Look how the little cores come out. Look right there. Look at that one. Look up here. You see that? Look what I'm saying. Look at like this one right here. Looked like it wasn't even finished, man. Like they couldn't get all the way down in there, man. Those core drills, those things are no fun. While we're on the topic of giants, look at this little typical mountain. Notice the patterns on it, okay? Structure of an epidermis, which is your skin, actually. Look right there. I mean, that is so neat, you know. But that's just skin, and that's just a mountain. No big deal. A couple more. These these could be something else. Pretty neat looking little rock right there, for sure. Even got the eyelashes. And this one right here is...
The what?
I should call her. So the question is, my friends, what in the core drilled these 4 things, and why didn't that dude finish that one right there, man?
No way that last one was naturally formed like that. We're being lied to about the past, folks.
Have been left baffled after an alien-like creature that smells of decaying flesh appeared in a suburban backyard. In what's been described as something resembling a character out of the Netflix sci-fi series Stranger Things, expert Professor Brett Summerall identified the growths as variants of the stinkhorn. Both produce a brown stinky substance on the tentacles, Summerall told Yahoo News Australia, in a bid to attract flies and other insects, hence the smell of decaying flesh. He continued they are relatively common at this time of year, adding neither are harmful to people or pets, and they decay away pretty quickly.
It's a stinghorn. It's not baffling. It's just a fungi.
Talk about gutter oil, and if you don't know what gutter oil is, I am so sorry for what you're about to learn. But gutter oil is when people go down into the sewers, take the feces and the fat off of that, and whatever else is down there, they boil it up, make it into oil, and then sell that to restaurants and street vendors for them to use in their food. It's illegal in a lot of places. People are trying to get rid of it. But most people who do it are just trying to survive and make money. Back in 2019, I went on a Groupon trip to China. The trip was about $600, and that included everything except for a couple like little excursions. One night we could pay extra to go on one of the excursions, like for the night, it was a show, or we could stay in Shanghai and like just do whatever. So me and a few of the others who didn't pay for it, we decided we're going to just go around Shanghai and walk around and go get dinner. We go to a restaurant and it seemed nice enough, and I ordered a dish that didn't have anything that had meat in it. And there was something slimy on top, but I was told that it was eggplant. We went straight from dinner back to the hotel. As I'm walking in, I'm like kind of on the wall. I'm like, oh, hold on, we gotta stop. I'm starting to feel odd. Get to the room, I take a Zofran and a Pepto-Bismol, and I'm like, okay, I'm okay. Moments later, I'm having the most violent episode of vomiting, diarrhea. I'm crying, and like I just couldn't control my body. I was peeing, I was having diarrhea, I was vomiting all at the same time and crying, and was like, oh my God. And the worst part about all of this is that I was there with my man, and it was in this like nice hotel, and all the walls of the bathroom were made of glass. It had a sliding glass barn door. So there was like no shield from me and my man seeing this, okay? He doesn't get sick at this point. He had just rice. He ends up hosing me down in the shower. whatever. I think the worst is past me. Night is miserable. I end up shitting myself later. It was, if my relationship made it through that, it could make it through anything. We get on the bus the next day, and the whole group of us who went out the night before, except for my man, are out the window just the whole ride, like off and on. Somebody's vomiting out the window. The bus proceeds to break down, and now the air's not working, and we're feeling miserable, okay? Sick to our stomach, vomiting out the windows. Now it's hot. Next day, a different group breaks off from the group and does their own thing. And when they get back in the bus, it's the same thing. They're out the windows. While we're just walking, like going down a street, everybody's just vomiting out the windows. I would love to say that's where the story ends.
Okay, I'm confused about how you narrow it down to gutter oil versus food poisoning from something else. I need part 2, gutter oil girl.
This is the James Webb Telescope. Does it look familiar, guys? If you've been on TikTok in the past week or so, then you probably have seen pictures very similar to this. And if you're not sure where I'm going with this, take a look at this. This here happens to be patent for the sun simulator. There's a video going around this week on TikTok showing this, the apparent sun simulator. In this picture, you'll see a close-up of one of the reflections coming off of the sun from a high-altitude weather balloon that looks awfully similar to the patent for the sun simulator, which also looks very similar to the James Webb Telescope. Could it be that they had us distracted so much with all these great images from space from the James Webb Telescope that they were hiding the fact that this telescope was actually the sun simulator? Now I'm sure all the NASA fanboys and heliosexuals having NASCasms over space pictures are going to have a field day with this. So tell me what you think in the comments. Could it be the sun simulator?
My question is this: why would they do this, and what would they benefit?
Now, I got something to ask you. When the have you ever seen a sunflower turn away from the sun? When here, a whole field of sunflowers turning away from what it's supposed to be the sun. But I think we're all starting to put the pieces together, aren't we? That there's something going on in the skies. All the shit that they're spraying, the way that the sun looks, it's white now. It used to be orange, right? It's just looks like a spotlight. I've seen some shit up in the sky. I've seen some shit up next to the sun. If you look at it, I'm telling you, there's something going on. Yeah, a lot of us are starting to say this, and I don't think it could be any more obvious than seeing a field of sunflowers turning away from the sun. That shit just it's impossible. It's implausible. Unless there's something going on. It's right there before our faces. What are we gonna do? How can we deal with this? What's next for us to do other than to keep talking about it and make it not something that people could laugh about? Look at it, the sunflowers are telling us that's not the sun. So what is it? What's going on? What's really happening? Who is man? Mr. 76 signing out.
Sunflowers, when full grown, will stop following the sun and only face east. Just saying.
Well, I never expected the Vatican interview to go as deep as it did, but as of today, when they came forward with that new document about supernatural phenomena and apparitions, they also admitted to having a UFO spaceship since the 1900s. Mind you, there has been speculation for years about what is in the Vatican archives, including access to unknown information about UFOs, fallen angels, and even things that are out of this world. So today they were supposed to go live and unveil the document that has new guidelines for what is an apparition, what is a phenomena, and basically what is supernatural. But in the midst of doing that, there was a live interview on air where they were asked, do you have information about UFOs? And they panned to an interview with a gentleman who is known for his credibility about the Vatican, and he went on to say this.
In Magenta, Italy, they recovered a partially intact vehicle. The Italian government moved it to a secure air base in Italy for the rest of kind of the fascist regime until 1944, 1945. And, the Pope Pius XII back-channeled that.
So the Vatican was involved.
Yeah, and told the Americans what the Italians had.
I have been telling you guys for the past year that the Vatican has this unknown information about UFOs and who really are the aliens. There was this specific incident I talked about a while ago where there was an actual UFO seen flying over the Vatican, and I'm going to give you guys that whole story again, but let's get into what the Vatican was talking about as it pertains to supernatural phenomena and everything that they were supposed to unveil today. So not only did that same interviewer ask, do you believe that aliens are also demons? And the gentleman said yes. Because if you guys don't know, demons are just fallen angels that fell to earth and corrupted the earth, or the watchers. So for someone from the Vatican who literally has changed the entire Bible, they took chapters out of the Bible and they are called the Apocrypha, for them to admit that they have knowledge of these demons, aliens, and UFOs, it's actually quite big. I'm going to give you the full story, but just to give you a narrow rundown because I have to go, they did admit that in this document they are saying they're not going to be a part of if it's really supernatural or not anymore. Basically, don't call them, because if it is a supernatural entity, if it doesn't involve certain things, they will not be doing exorcisms or things of that nature. So yeah, I'm going to get back.
Vatican has been infiltrated by demons. They're trying to trick us into accepting demons as aliens. We know these entities are coming from different dimensions, not planets.
This is a $135 million home here on Bulgaria Island in Dubai, and I'm going to show you some insane features that I've ever seen in any home. They have watchfinders throughout this entire property. Look at all these RMs, and that's RM Dragon right there. Over $4 million.
$4 million for a watch?
Yes. Onyx freestanding tub that was carved out of a single slab of onyx, and they had to lay this on blocks of ice. That way when they install it, it wouldn't crack the floors. All right, you're not gonna believe this. They have a motorized skylight that opens up the center of the home and turns it into a courtyard. Come on, give me a break. This is so cool. Welcome to the hair salon. Starlight ceilings above, and then we have a sink here that was carved out of a single slab of marble. Crazy with a ceiling mount water fixture. So the staircase has a built-in hand railing with ambient lighting, and inside is wrapped with suede, so it's chef's kiss. This pink bathroom is to die for. Look at this pink quartz vanity. All the drawers are leather wrapped and comes with a Dyson. This gym has leather tiles on the floors, and check this out. They also have marble dumbbells here. Look how cool these pieces are.
Equinox better watch out.
So this office has a fish tank, this incredible desk, and on the other side, we have Hermes power banks.
That's Hermes too?
Yep. This insane outdoor patio with a sunken seating area, fire pit in the center. Tell me, have you ever seen a space like this? The carports here are so futuristic with LED lights, and down below we have a McLaren Speedtail and a Ford GT, and let me know in the comments below which detail is your favorite.
I'd rather take a small cabin in the mountains or beaches with my dog and cat.
Billionaires are holding out on us. One of the most famous billionaires in the world made a shocking viral video announcement recently, and it could change America forever.
Mind paying taxes at Berkshire, and we are paying a 21% federal rate. If we send in a check like we did last year, we send in over $5 billion to the U.S. federal government. And if 800 other companies had done the same thing, no other person in the United States would have had to pay a dime of federal taxes, whether income taxes, no Social Security taxes, no estate taxes, no, it's all been down the line.
Fake app.
I like the guy. He's not greedy. Warren Buffett once tried to get all the other billionaires together to wipe out the national debt. No other billionaires were willing to do this.
People have a bunch of friends. That's the first red flag. If I see somebody out in public, at the bar, at the gym, shaking a bunch of people's hands, dabbing them up, giving them hugs, all smiles, all happy, that's fishy business. Because for one, how the hell are you entertaining all these people? And two, how are all these people and these different personalities taking a liking to you? You must be working overtime to make sure they do like you, which means you're pretentious, which also means you're probably fake. And then people claim, well, they're just popular. This isn't high school. There's no popularity contest. The real ones know small circle is the way to do it. Okay? Bigger circle, bigger problems. I run from that shit. I don't want to be a part of your circle of many, right? I don't want to be depleted in a pool of many. That's fake. Steer away from people that are quote unquote popular. You're welcome.
You know, just because you know a lot of people don't mean they're all in your circle. My line of work brings me lots of many people who give me love.
How did humans survive the Ice Age?
You think that they wouldn't survive, don't you? But actually, it was an ideal place to live. The oceans were warmer, so in various parts of the continents, particularly at the edges, the climate was a lot nicer. The oceans were lower because the ice was on the continents, so that enabled humans to migrate. So people migrated into Australia, across the Bering Strait, into North America. Those are the two major ones. And so the Ice Age was a great place to live, and humans were able to survive there.
An ice age doesn't mean the entire world is frozen. During last major ice age, 1/3 of the planet was still warm, according to Google, of course.
Wasn't nothing but a corporate hostile takeover using his life as the my God.
Man, RP Takeoff.
That boy died so they could cash in a insurance policy and to cover up the fact that Rock Nation was ripping Megan away from 300. I guess nobody's paying attention to the fact that complete control of Megan Thee Stallion's career was taken over right after Takeoff died, and the Prince family were forced to leverage and let her go, even though they did not want to.
Oof.
Isn't that interesting?
Houston politics.
And I'm not saying allegedly.
Oh.
I'm saying Sean Carter, you're taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough.
Wow.
Did that house burn up? Who the to their childhood house for a visit and it goes up in flames?
That was very weird.
And still, no real investigation on how the house just went up in flames. I guess they paid y'all off. Like they paid y'all off for the Astro World shit.
The level of murdering is mind-blowing. I worry for her life. And the truth always sounds crazy, folks.
A man who was betrayed by his wife met an abandoned tiger cub. After taking it home, he discovered that tigers are more loyal than humans. The baby tiger obviously couldn't bear the cold anymore. The man quickly gave the tiger cub a hot bath and feed the tiger cub's milk. He loved it as their own child. The baby tiger was also very attached to the man who gave him a second life. They are like a real family. Soon the tiger grew up and became increasingly mischievous, even learning to be more affectionate. During leisure time, the owners would take it out to play. Several years later, the kitten turned into a big tiger, becoming more handsome by the day, yet it remained just as affectionate and playful. It couldn't sleep without its dad, and they were like father and son. Their bond was irreplaceable. Sometimes, when causing mischief at home, the little one would be scolded by its dad, resembling a naughty child. Despite this, the love of the owners for it never diminished.
Now, men, choose wisely. Women or tiger cub? And how did bro get permit to keep the tiger?
It was proved at the turn of the century that the human body is almost 80%, 90% water, and it's also got electrolytes in it, which we know to be salt, potassium, different minerals. That means we're a salt battery. No different than the car battery, different than something like that. And there's a patent actually called the Cali patent, which I'll hold up here for the camera to see. And this patent actually was developed in 1897, and not much has been done with it because at that time everyone was afraid of electricity. In this case, Dr. Clark developed a product using a 9-volt battery. And I'll just show you in the back here. There it is, 9-volt battery. And this particular unit, you just snap on your wrist with 2 wristbands.
We'll have a minute. Yeah.
You snap it on your wrist just to prove that I'm a circuit. I push the little green light, and the thing is on. And if I put my hands together, You can hear that I'm a circuit, and I'm a closed circuit at this point. Now, with
Why
that,
do we get a sound when you put your hands together?
because I've closed the circuit. Now, when I take my hands apart, obviously the electricity is now being able to flow through the body. The electricity can't go through the digestive tract, so in the digestive tract, to kill the microorganisms, the specific parasites, she's found the effectiveness of the black walnut, which the native Indians used for cleansing many years ago. The black walnut, in its green hull form, kills many of the microorganisms, and in conjunction with another product called wormwood, and cloves, typical cloves that you would get at the store, these three in combination have the ability to go in and kill all the pathogens. Now, what's most interesting is the Mexican people have the lowest incidence of cancer anywhere on the planet. And the reason is they kill the ascaris with this particular product here, we all know to be the jalapeno pepper. And those seeds of the jalapeno pepper, only 10 or 15 seeds twice a day, have the ability to kill the ascaris, which she found to be a major cause of why the body loses oxygen at the tumor sites. And to kill that, you use the jalapeno seeds, and then you back that up with a little ozonated olive oil.
How are you so certain that each time you have...
We use scanning techniques and we do blood tests. You can tell if a tumor has shrunk or not, but I realized this kind of criticism would come along, and that's why I saved 50 sets of x-rays before and after and all the blood tests, and that's what I published in the last book.
Now, this is where you really...
You know, how many years have been wasted by them not letting this be told, and how many other secrets are there that they won't let us know? Hey, and I heard cayenne pepper kills parasites and cleans the blood as well.
The World Health Organization's founding charter. They wrote an absolute amnesty for all criminal acts conducted by themselves, including murder, by the way. By law, not a single one of them can not only be tried and prosecuted, they can't even be investigated.
Now, I wonder if there are examples in the history of the WHO of where that amnesty has been implemented or effective, or where its boundaries might likely be tested.
Let's keep it really current. Remember that in 2018, during the Ebola clinical trials run by the World Health Organization in Africa, it was very clear that remdesivir, the drug that was promoted by Dr. Deborah Birx and Dr. Anthony Fauci as a drug for the treatment of COVID, the World Health Organization, in its infinite wisdom and high morality, decided that remdesivir was actually too lethal to inject into Africans. And that is because the fatality rate of people exposed to remdesivir in the Ebola trials was 53%. And the bad news about that number is that Ebola doesn't kill 53%. You get over Ebola. You don't get over remdesivir.
Stay free. See it first on Rumble.
Accountability. We all should be screaming and demanding accountability. How can we sit back and let this happen?
Hi. So Denzel Washington, Sylvester Stallone, and Mark Wahlberg are all resigning from the Screen Actors Guild. They would like to create a non-woke union.
There you go.
So they can bring back traditional values. Now, I think this is a great idea. I think that they're powerful enough, and there's also many other celebrities that want to do the same thing. And I think it's a great idea because bringing back traditional values is very important. And right now, our world is really starting to go in a crazy direction. And thank God that these people are creating this. So they will be making films that are non-woke and in a different union. And I really think it's great. What do you think? Because I'm all for it, you know? So I think traditional values are very, very important.
That's why I watch their movies, especially Denzel and Mark Wahlberg movies. I know they have values.
As of late, the talk of the town has been the sun. And if you have questions about the sun and what's going on, again, you're going to want to listen to this video, y'all. Check this out, because everything that we have been taught about the sun and the moon is a lie.
Do you ever question our sun lately? That there is something weird going on? Geji, Sama, and I come up with this discussion, and we talked about it yesterday. You hear the news, right? About sun flares, sunstorms, and so on. Do you think it's real? Or is this another lie? If you get the concept, of every beauty shown, there is madness and deceive behind curtains. Let's just say, for example, the Northern Lights. And a lot of people capture this beauty, but the reason behind it is not that pretty. Religious people may call it under the throne of God. Who knows? Spiritual people call it an infinite energy. The reason behind these Northern Lights may be because we are having two suns. One real and local, one fake and plasma. Now let's cut the about this narcissistic astronaut. China released an artificial sun.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people have noticed it. Everyone noticed it. Before, we still have sun gazing. We can see the sun and not hurting our eyes. But right now, you cannot even look at it for just 1 second. And these two suns are coexisting because NASA using this sun simulator. And you've probably seen this photo, right? That they called, quote unquote, James Webb Telescope on our real local sun, just to magnify the intensity of the fake sun. As I told you before, it's all energy source. These two suns, the fake one and the real one, are like two magnets, pushing and pulling. That causes negative energy and it affects the ionosphere, and that won't be good at all. There is something going on in our skies, and these people doesn't want you to know. And this is also the things that I told you about, that there is a weird things going on, or things might happen. There is no sun flares. This is all made up. Our real sun that's local is just chilling up, giving you source of energy and light. This is the reason why they want to ban TikTok, they want to ban the Bible. These people doesn't want you to discover the secret of the universe, that it's all written on our scriptures. Maybe, just maybe, our real sun, real moon, and this fake sun is all plasma, just like what they call planets. It might be plasma and represents our soul system, not solar system. It's like the fourth state of matter. And these emit too much energy. Like the amount of power that comes from a plasma, these two suns might be a plasma, pushing and pulling each other from magnetic forces. And it's weakening our electromagnetic field and causing these northern lights to spread around north. You've probably seen the photos like this, right? This is the pattern for sun simulator. This is the reflection coming off of the sun from a high altitude weather balloon. It looks so similar, yeah? Similar to James Webb Telescope. This telescope is actually a sun simulator. Again, this NASA doesn't need telescopes because they edit CGI photos. This fake sun is dangerous. This claims that it is 5 times hotter than our real sun, achieving temperature of 158 million degrees Fahrenheit just for 17 minutes. And all of this mimics the real sun, pretending to produce clean energy. This is their dream, to create a nuclear fusion. This involves fusing hydrogen atoms into helium just to create this mimic fake sun, a Ptolemaic-designed superheat plasma to replicate stellar conditions. And all of this, it's because of your money. It's all because of money. There's nothing good going on with playing with nature, especially playing with God. They fake the rain, they fake the cloud, they fake going to space, they fake the planets. What else they are faking? There is something going on in space, going and coming, that it's not human like us. And this is the thing that they are hiding from us. So if you want to be a great liar, be an astronaut.
Wow, that's crazy. Some days the sun feels weird on my skin instead of my skin absorbing it like like normal, you know. It's more like a sting now.
Whatever happened to those day in the life working in tech vlogs?
It's because we all got laid off, honey. I worked at Spotify in 2019. It was my first job out of college. I was so excited. Like, it was my dream to move to New York City and just like live that like Carrie Bradshaw lifestyle. And we got so many amazing perks when I worked at Spotify. We got free food, free breakfast, lunch, and sometimes we would get dinner too. We would get free concerts. We would get free international trips to Sweden. There were just so many perks, and now all those perks have completely disappeared. Not to mention, I also got laid off from my job, but that's a story for another day. And that wasn't the only layoff I had. I also worked at Uber right after Spotify as a marketing manager, and I got laid off from that job too. As someone who studied engineering in college, like I went to like one of the best schools for engineering, like I was the only woman who graduated in my class. Like I expected more out of my life. Like I thought I would be like, you know, making 300K at this point in a full-time job with like a lot of benefits. But for a lot of my friends, this is not the case anymore. You do not want to work in tech actually, because you are probably going to have your job replaced by AI or replaced by something down the line, because now all they want to do is just cut on costs. But yeah, the tech industry is so fucked, and I just don't think anyone should join tech right now.
Can someone please clarify why this is happening? We are in a digital era and renaissance, so to speak. We need tech. I'm so confused why there are layoffs. I would think there are more jobs.
Look at this right here. Disney Star Wars box office profits failed to cover the costs of buying Lucasfilm. Now, this is a brand new article. Look at this. April 14, 2024. This is by Forbes. And what this means, and I'm gonna speak very plainly because there's a lot of Rey fans, a lot of Star Wars sequel fans in my comment section, right? Disney lost money by buying Lucasfilm. Disney, they lost money by buying Lucasfilm. And it's all because of this genius right here. This is Kathleen Kennedy. And for the past 12 years, this genius has been changing Star Wars. It's no longer about Luke. It's no longer about Anakin. No. Now it's about Rey. And now it's all going to be about Grandmaster Sabine Wren. And as a result, Disney Star Wars is a financial failure. Think about this. This is $1 billion company. This used to print money for George. But now, ever since that genius Kathleen Kennedy has changed it up, it's no longer about Luke, it's no longer about Anakin Skywalker. Now it's all about Rey, right? She even tried to give her the name Skywalker, right? But we're not acknowledging that.
To be honest, I think Disney is trying to ruin every film they do. Go woke, go broke.
Oh, they know who you are now. They know. You see, they sent them after you. They lied about them knowing damn well who you. I don't even think they knew who you are. They handlers? Nah, they couldn't have. They didn't know the power behind you. They didn't know that you could bend and shape reality. They didn't know that you could bring the fire down from heaven and put it on them. And they've been watching you so hard that they see your words that you speak. And then they're like, damn. This woman, this man is literally speaking my life into existence for me. I better leave him alone. They fear you now. They family and stuff, you know, bad things is happening to them now because they tried the wrong one. That's scary, man. Hey, if I were them and I see somebody speaking my life into existence for my bad decision making, for trying to them, I would be afraid too. I mean, they tried to they swarmed after you like a big bee nest, like a hornet nest. Hundreds of people coming after you. And they all fear you. Where is everybody? They all fleed. Resist the devil, he shall flee. They don't know the power behind you. They don't know who you are. But I'm sure they have an idea now. And some of them know exactly who you are now. Oh, they're scared.
Yo.
I'm telling you. They are afraid. They're scared. They don't want no smoke with you now.
Nope.
Why you think they fall off so fast? They gotta, I gotta send a new one now. This one done ran off scared. They gotta keep sending new ones because they find out real fast who you are. No, I'm not messing with him. You said you assigned me to who? Oh no. I know that name. That's the boogeyman. In their eyes, they look at you as a boogeyman now. They're not gonna mess with you now. They see you bending reality. They see you, man. Yeah. When they mess with you, bad things happen. And they seen other people. When they mess with you, bad things started to happen to them. They're like, what the hell is going on? That's not a regular person. That's not a regular person. I think we should leave them alone. And now you're wondering, where is everybody? Man, you done ran them off. Now they know.
No weapon formed against me shall prosper. If you know, you know. Alright folks, I'm going to end our video with this coming clip. Be kind to each other. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And don't forget to like or dislike so I can make better content. You can also buy me coffee or support me on Patreon if you like. Links are in the description below. Thank you for watching. Peace. And God bless.
What the f***? What's wrong? They got my pictures on display. What the hell? Where did those come from? I don't know. Look at this one. Look at that. Where in the hell did they get that picture at?
I know you're on the beach somewhere.
Mother. That's this thing. I'm on the beach. I'm on the beach someplace else with these mother. This is bull. Look at that. Mother. I like to know where in these box they got it. This is completely. Hell, I ain't never had a picture made like that before.
You can't buy all those, Granny.
I ain't buying it.